My next guest got a huge fight coming up here against Jack Jenkins, UFC 284, February 11th. It's Don Shainis back here on the program. Don, how are you?
James, I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. How was your holiday season? I guess that's the only bummer about this fight. It was kind of in the middle, but how did everything go?
It's all right. It's far enough out to where I can enjoy seeing my family and whatnot. And now it's time to tighten things up and fall into camp.
That's
Been in
great.
camp now, just tighten things up a little bit.
Yeah, a little gap in between there. Did you take a couple days off, or how did that work out?
No, no, no. I mean, like in camp, there's always downtime, right? Like I got some stuff I need to do, but yeah, no, I didn't take any time off.
When did you find out about this fight?
I found out the end of October, I believe.
Oh, nice. Okay, so full camp, plenty of time, and all that.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah, much better scenario than the last camp. I think the last camp was like not even 2 weeks, 2 weeks,
yeah.
40 pounds. It was something crazy like that.
Yeah, and getting a bit of frequent flyer miles, getting to go to Australia. Just how excited are you? I don't know if you're someone who likes traveling or if this is kind of you'd rather fight in the States, but what was your reaction to finding out you'd be on this card?
Oh, what a big opportunity. You know what I mean? Probably the biggest card of the year. To travel across the world to experience a new culture and see how things are out there is going to be awesome. I do like traveling, but I never get to because I'm always training. So it's kind of a blessing that I get to see the world a little bit and beat someone up and make some new fans.
And I'm sure you've had fights in enemy territory before, but what's it like going to someone like, leaving on a plane and going to fight someone there? Like that's got to be a lot cooler to be able to spoil the party for the hometown guy, right?
Yeah, you know what? I've been booed before. The first time I ever been booed, I fought in front of Dana White's looking for a fight in Kansas City, and I walked out in a Tom Brady jersey, and everyone booed me. But I'm a New England guy, so I loved it. And you know what? It's not personal. It is what it is. Obviously they're gonna want their hometown guy to win, and I'm gonna go in there and upset the party.
And I mentioned taking on a Dana White Contender Series vet in Jack Jenkins, 10-2 record. How do you feel like you match up against him?
Oh, I think this is a great. This is probably one of the best matchups I could get, in the beginning stages of my featherweight career here. I actually got to see his fight live. So my flight out to Vegas for my fight with Sadiq, I flew on Tuesday, and me and my coach actually got to see him fight live. And I was actually talking to him about one day fighting, not like thinking like, I was just thinking about how I matched up with him, and he got the contract, and I didn't think I'd be fighting him right off the rip, but I thought this was going to be a great matchup for me.
How's camp looking? How have you structured things sort of going into this fight?
So I'm doing my camp back home. Things are great, falling back to my roots. I'm getting a lot more one-on-one attention, but New England's weird, man. Like there's no super gyms out here. The training's scattered. So I got to hit up 2-3 different gyms a day to get my work in, but it's structured a little bit differently, and it's fine. It's fine. I've done it most of my career, but it's definitely not what I was exposed to out in Kansas City, but had to make a move and do what I had to do.
Doing the best you can, as they say. What about training partners? Who have you had a chance to work with this camp, or who are you working with right now?
This camp, one of my main training partners is Connor Matthews. He fought in the Contender Series, really good kid. Lozon's has a full stable of pro fighters, mostly, New England guys, not too many UFC guys, but and then my home gym, Citadel, they got a few studs up there, but yeah, Connor Matthews has been my number one guy so far.
And the weight cut, because you got to travel so far, do you cut more back in the States, or how are you navigating through that ahead of this fight?
Luckily for this camp, when I got the call, I was 15 pounds lighter than when I got the call for my last fight. So my last fight, it was probably like the worst scenario I could have gone into except in a fight. I was coming off an injury. I just was easing back into training, and in 2 or 3 days into training, they're like, "Hey, you want to fight in the UFC?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude." So now it's 13 weeks, 14 weeks, something like that. I started off lighter. I think I'm gonna start my descent. You're always dieting, but I'm gonna try and get down to about 160, 158 before I fly out. I'm gonna fly out a little bit early to adjust to the time zone difference, and from 58, I should make 45, no problem.
Can you take anything away from that UFC debut? Again, you mentioned all the bad circumstances, but I guess, doing the walk is obviously, having that experience and all that. But what could you take away the most from that fight? Because it wasn't very long.
No, it is what it is. I took a fight with both my arms tied behind my back. If you knew the story, how bad my weight cut was, I started fight week off at 170, and from 70 I cut to 45. I don't know how anyone else does cuts like that, but it was one of those things where, I knew I was gonna have a bad cut, mainly because I didn't know about the fight, and it is what it is. You got a zombie version of me, and I'm just excited to be myself. So, I don't know, like, dude, you like, one thing I know I'm gonna do is make weight. So, you know, next thing's go fight. So I think with the proper timing, nutrition, and everything, get ready for a specific opponent who has, big calf kicks and good straight punches, some nice body shots. He won his Contender Series fight on the ground, but I don't think he's a ground guy. So, I'm gonna try and exploit that a little bit. But to take away what I need to take away is just like, I find out fucking this fight if I belong here or not.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. You got all the good I mean, other than having to travel, it's still, full camp and plenty of notice, specific opponents. So yeah, we're excited to see that for sure. What about your corner? Who's going to be making the trip with you?
So Eric Grossman, he's been my head coach for quite a while. Then my father's actually going to be taking the trip with me. And I think that'd be a pretty cool experience. Have my dad out in the corner. And then a teammate of mine out here, Sean McGrath.
Excellent. So, and I know you feel like you're going to win. Otherwise, why sign the contract? But how do you see the fight playing out on February 11th?
We'll see, man. I'm going to come out. I think he has a very slow fighting style. I don't think he's going to be rushing for everything, pretty patient. And I think cardio is going to play a big factor in this fight because I like to come out fast and hard and come out sprinting and see who fades first. So that's kind of how I see it playing out.
Obviously, we're at the start of the year. Are you guys that set goals or resolutions or anything like that? And if so, what are they?
Honestly, I live every day like it's a Friday. I stopped playing into holidays, birthdays, all that bullshit. To me, keep doing what I'm doing. What I'm doing's got me here, and what I'm gonna keep doing is stay here. And goals, win my next fight. That I'm not looking at this as like, oh my God, it's 2023. This is my fuck that shit. Like if you want to buy into that, that's cool. If you want to set some goals, that's cool. But I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay, I like the honesty there for sure. And downtime, I'm sure you're getting a little bit of Netflix or watching some football. What have you been up to when you get that little bit of free time?
Honestly, I've been so busy. I moved back in with my parents, so I'm staying at my parents. They're helping me out big time. I spend so much time driving from gym to gym. It's like I said earlier, New England's different. Like there's no one-stop shop. You want to work, you got to go to the talent. So, I'm spending half an hour to go to this gym, another half an hour to go to the other gym. So if you think round trip, that's an hour. I leave my house at 4:00 some days to get to Boston for 6, to train from 6 to 8, 8:39. So I don't get much free time. And the free time, I kind of just like going to the grocery store and food shopping, to be honest with you.
Okay, no, I like that. What about in the car? What are you listening to there? Are you a music guy, podcast? What do you got on?
I'm a big real guy. I'll throw on some podcasts. I do like music. I'm just trying to discover new music. Occasionally I'll listen to podcasts, try and stay off my phone while I'm driving, but I'm not perfect. So been pulled over quite a few times for texting and driving. So I'm trying to avoid that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you got to get the hands free.
Yeah.
Don, appreciate this, man. We're looking forward to it. It's right around the corner, UFC 284, February 11th. If there's anyone you'd like to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Hey, James, thank you so much for having me on. All my sponsors, thank you. And I'm excited to show out February, 11th, 12th? I don't even know. Depends what time zone you're in. Yeah, and get my first UFC win.